Going on? What is going on? It is your boy Martine, aka the Boxing Purist. Let me see. Welcome to the Truth and Absolute channel, baby, where I speak the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me, good God Almighty. Let's get right into this one. Let's see what we got here. It's been a minute. Highlight video on mute, flip, green screen. I don't know what none of that is. Wait for some of y'all to come through and we talk about the fight, baby. Because it's coming up fast. Very fast. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. It is 3 days out. My gosh, did that come fast. We are in for a treat. It's going to be a good one. It could be full of surprises, and it could play out just like it looks on paper. We shall see. Whew. Jigglypuff. Canelo by the 8th and 9th round stoppage. I'm going to let a few more people get up in here, my man, and then I'm going to get going. All right, just let a few more people come through, and then I'm going to get going, talking about the fight. I'm excited. Salute to you, my brother. God bless you. Hope all is well. Coming up fast. Hopefully we get more people in the live. Hopefully we get more people. I didn't announce it, but I'm just hoping that they show up. So be patient, Jigglypuff. Be patient, my brother. How you been, bro? We got another one in here. What's good, Mike? Just waiting for a few more people to come through, man. Then I'm gonna get talking about this one. Just give my little take. By Friday, I'm gonna give my official prediction for this fight. But for right now, we're gonna chop it up, and I'm just gonna go over some more things that just pop out into the air that I must share with you guys, because it's a boxing channel, damn it. And whatever I'm thinking, whatever I see, I'm gonna share with you guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you're in the live, even if you want to leave, hit the subscribe button first. Hit the like button. Do what you got to do. It doesn't cost you a penny. Amen, brother. Amen. I like that. Jigglypuff. I like that. Amen. We woke up today. What more can we ask for? Amen. Share the live. Do what you got to do. I'm about to start talking. And you know, once I start talking, I don't shut up. So let's do this. Hold on. Let's let a few more people in. We got 11 in here. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Do what you got to do. Hi, Ariana. How's it going? Santos, what is going on, my brother? Kamikaze, what's good? What is good? You know what? I'm going to start talking about that one. So good point on that one. Crawford is looking the same size as Canelo, if not bigger. But let me tell you something. I'm doing good, Ariana. But let me tell you something, man. It's one thing on how these guys look doing this, and we know that Crawford was given so much. 20 people in the live, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I just got going. Here I go. So we look at the face-off and we say, wow, Crawford looks bigger than Canelo. Now, let me tell you guys something. Let me tell y'all something, okay? Height, maybe? Okay. All of the above. Terence Crawford had the benefit of having a whole year to bulk up, which means he didn't do it in 3 months, go up in weight to do what he has to do. He had a damn near a year to be putting on weight. And let me tell y'all something. He knew he was getting the fight, because right after the Madrimov fight, I feel like he started putting on that weight. I feel like he started doing that, whatever. Pancho was good. So it may look that way, and I totally get it, y'all. And we see the pictures. Terence Crawford looking like he on steroids. He has a 30-pack right here. He's all muscular up. Somehow he went up, what? Let me see, 3 weight classes. He went up like over 20 pounds, put muscle on. Looks like he should have been at 168, which now raises the question, was he being a weight bully at the smaller weight classes? That's a topic for a different show. But could I remind you guys, there's certain small things that make a big factor in this fight. And the one I keep going back to, because this is going to happen. How does Crawford react to the shots by Canelo? Even if it's on the elbow, if it's on the bicep, hell, the shoulder, he catches him on the leg on accident. How does react to be getting punched by a bigger guy who's trying to beat you up? Listen, you hear it all the time. He was sparring heavyweights. He was sparring a 300-pounder. He was doing this. And right away, we buy right into it. Both fighters, right? Both fighters. Canelo is sparring Boots. He did good against Boots. He's going to have the advantage on Crawford. We all do it. We get excited when we hear who they were sparring with, how the sparring sessions with, all of the above. We all do it. We could all buy into it. Damn it, I'm guilty of it too. However, when they're inside the ring, it's a whole lot different. And let me tell y'all why. Speaking about Canelo sparring Boots, we all saw it. We got excited for it. We say, okay, Boots has similarities to Crawford. Good move on Canelo to get him to spar. Now it's going to make the fight easier. Does not quite work that way. Now let's look on the side of Terence Crawford. He's sparring heavyweights. He's sparring bigger guys. He's doing this. That's going to help him against Canelo. Not exactly. We got 38 people in here. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Even if you're about to leave and scroll away, just do your boy a favor and subscribe. Let's get back into this one. So, and what is the major difference in that? Jerome Boots Ennis was not sparring with Canelo Alvarez trying to knock his head off and prove a point. He was there to spar and help Canelo get ready. Those heavyweights were not there to knock Terence Crawford's head off, right, and get a W against him. They were in there to help him get ready. There was no bad intentions. There was no nothing. There was nothing to prove. It's called work, right? You bench at 135, you put 5, you make it 145, you're getting a little bit stronger. When someone just throws 225 at you with no warning, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. However, nothing is going to get you ready for the shots you're about to take, and I'm talking about both ends. You see, both guys got stuff that they need to worry about. When we look at Terence Crawford, it's in plain sight, it's very evident, it's crystal clear, it's all of the above. No matter where Canelo hits him, if he's able to actually wind up, step to him, and catch him with a hard shot anywhere, we are going to see how Bud reacts to that. We're going to see how good he does against that. We're going to see if it changes his character throughout the fight. Canelo Alvarez, if he gets excited at any point and jumps in there, knowing that he could hurt Bud, because listen, it's evident Canelo could hurt Bud. He's been hurting bigger guys his whole career. I guarantee you he lands on Bud good, he could hurt him. However, you get too excited against a fighter like Terence Bud Crawford, who's really crafty and knows what he's doing inside the ring. Let me tell y'all something. Crawford could hurt Canelo. It's a challenge because I don't think that he's going to hurt Canelo just going toe-to-toe with him, okay? If it's an exchange where both fighters are like, okay, let's sit down on our punches, let's go against each other, and they just start trading against each other, I don't see Bud hurting Canelo in that fashion. Even if he lands clean on Canelo in that, I don't see him just knocking Canelo out because Canelo has faced the bigger punchers. He's faced the bigger fighters. To say that Terence Bud Crawford is a bigger puncher than a Kovalev or a Triple G is just crazy. It's just crazy. It's nuts. It's bananas. Okay? However, if Canelo gets a little excited, jumps in there reaching for Terence Crawford, I think that Crawford could catch him with an uppercut and actually hurt Canelo. Not knock him out, but pretty much what I'm saying is try to use Canelo's aggression against him. That's the only scenario I see working out for Bud. I don't see Bud boxing Canelo's head off for 12 rounds. I don't see it, okay? I don't see it. He's going to have to make a statement against Canelo. I don't see him getting the decision, right? To say that he knocks him out, highly unlikely. But I do think if he catches him perfectly and Canelo is reaching and Bud throws one of those sneaky uppercuts, I guarantee you that's part of the game plan. He could hurt Canelo. But that's just one way. Now, I know we all listen to Roy Jones Jr. You know, sometimes I agree with Roy, sometimes I do not agree with Roy. On this one, I'm going to disagree with Roy. Because Roy is looking past the weight gain for Crawford. Roy is looking past the experience level of who Bud faced for this one. He's looking past all that stuff. He is just seeing that Bud is a good boxer, and he has 6 different ways he said that he could beat Canelo. There's only one issue with that. There's only one issue with it. What 6 ways is Bud gonna beat Canelo? What 6 ways? You gotta explain yourself more. I said that he could catch Canelo coming in and somehow use his aggression against him. That's very possible. And listen, no matter how you call him the fight, I think that that's not too far-fetched to say, right? That's not a bad claim if you ask me. But we could disagree. It's all good. On Canelo's side, okay? On Canelo's side, is Bud ever in the fight going to go after Canelo? It seems like suicide. It seems like suicide. You're not going to back Canelo up. You're just not going to do that, right? Now, sit down and fight with Canelo? Listen, I know anything could happen in the sport of boxing. I know that we've watched boxing and seen some crazy stuff, but to just envision in my head the two fighters standing toe to toe, somewhere where Canelo likes to be because he could counterpunch very well, and him hurt Canelo in that exchange, I know it could happen, but the percentage is not that high. I'm just going to be real with you guys right now. We talk about the speed of the fighters, and we assume because Terrence Bud Crawford is smaller than Canelo that he's a faster fighter than Canelo. And I spoke about it last time. If you guys were here, I'm not so sure that Bud is a faster fighter than Canelo. I would say he uses his legs a lot better than Canelo does. I agree 100%. He switch hits, right? He switch hits. Canelo doesn't do that. We could say that, okay, that could work into Bud's favor. All right, I totally see that. Defensively, are we just going to go right out and say that Bud is a better defensive than Canelo for whatever reason? Because somehow we want to pretend that Bud is a second coming of Floyd Mayweather, even though that the two don't fight similar at all? 1 second. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, we remember that fight and forget that Canelo was green. He was 20, 21 years old. We forget all of that. We throw it out the window and we just assume now, well, Bud's better defensively. Well, since when? Since when? I'm going to step out and say Canelo is a better defensive fighter than Bud. Now, before you guys get crazy, I'm going to say this to you guys. When Canelo and Floyd Mayweather Jr. were both active, this is after they fought, Floyd held the best record for hit to not getting hit. Guess who came in second? I bet you don't know. I bet you don't know. Canelo Alvarez. You know what I take from that? Because we know that Canelo's good defensively. He must have been like 25. Go look at who was fighting at that time. Go look who was boxing at that time and see that Canelo only came second to Floyd Mayweather. He's good defensively. He could do what he does. We've never seen Canelo get beat up. You go back and watch the Bivol fight, you don't see Canelo get beat up. You see him lose the fight, but you don't see him get beat up. You don't see him getting rocked. You don't see none of that. You just see him getting outworked in a fight where he chose to eat spinach for his whole training camp. I had to throw that in there. Why not? I cannot count Bud out completely, guys. I cannot just throw it in there and say Bud has absolutely no chance because it's an unrealistic claim to make. But on paper, everything is working against Bud. I get that. However, I cannot count him out. It's not that I'm discrediting Canelo Alvarez. It's not that I'm doing that. It's the simple fact that this is boxing and there is a certain thing called a will to win, right? A will to win. You guys don't think that Bud, it bothers him a little bit that we question his resume? I say we because I do too. I defended him for a long time, but I had to actually keep it 100 and look at his resume. And although I think Bud is a great fighter, if I'm simply looking at his resume, I'm going to say there's a lot of names missing. Why didn't you fight them? We're not going to get into that right now. I'm simply talking about his resume. Am I saying Bud's resume is full of bums? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not going to say that. Am I going to say that there may not be not one elite fighter on Bud's resume? That's up for debate. That's up for debate. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? When we look at Canelo's resume, up and down and all around, the names on his resume. I'm going to ask you guys a question, and I saw this on a podcast earlier. Could any of Canelo's ex-opponents beat Terrence Bud Crawford, in your guys' opinion? Question. Tell me that. Tell me that. Could any of Canelo's old opponents beat Terrence Bud Crawford, in your guys' opinion? I'm going to say one for sure. Floyd Money Mayweather. That's a no-brainer if you ask me. That's a no-brainer if you ask me. How would Bud do against someone like Erislandy Lara? How would Bud do against somebody like, let me see, what weight classes are we talking? Billy Joe Saunders going up in weight. We could say going up in weight now because, damn it, he's going up in weight against the Canelo Alvarez. How would he do against him? Pound for pound, how are we going to compare them? Even the fight that Canelo lost, even the Bivol fight, even the first Triple G fight, in my opinion. I know it was ruled a draw. In my opinion, Canelo lost that fight. Okay. Does Bud beat any of those guys? Let's do the same thing with the other side now. We look at Terrence Bud Crawford's resume. Are any of those guys beating Canelo? I'm going to say hell no. Spence? No. And one, I'm just going to say stylistically, it'd be a fight of hell for Spence Jr. Canelo would beat him up worse than Bud did. Okay. Kell Brook? Now we just got to speak pound for pound because they're in different weight classes. Gamboa? Ricky Burns? Who's beating Canelo then? Who can match up with Canelo skill-wise on Bud's resume? I'm looking at these things. We can make any case we want in the world. The truth of the matter is that this is an elite level that Bud is stepping into. It's an elite level that he's stepping into. And all this was to simply say, I know it messes with Bud's head that we even talk about this. I know that it does. He knows that a win over Canelo Alvarez, he gets to skip a few steps into that place where we already have him. Some of us do, some of us don't. I love Bud. I'm a Terrence Bud Crawford fan. I think he's great, all of the above, but I gotta keep it 100 because there's other resumes I question. Well, I gotta do his as well. Like Lil Tank Tank. I was very, very critical of Lil Tank Tank's resume, and hell, now he's just proving it all right because he's gonna fight a Paul brother and they're gonna celebrate with a Prime together, right? Okay. Keeping it 100. He knows a win over Canelo Alvarez helps his resume not just this much, quite a bit. It solidifies him. We talk about Bud 10 years in the future. That man beat Canelo Alvarez and he jumped up in weight. I swear it's a gift from Turkey Al-Sheikh because this opportunity could help Bud big time. Canelo Alvarez. Once upon a time, we called this a lose-lose. I know I did. You guys remember it, I'm 100% sure. Stephen Crosby, Bivol exposed Canelo. I'll get back to you, bro. Fanboys. You're my favorite type. Don't go nowhere, Stephen. I'm almost out of here. I'm almost done with what I'm talking about. Then I'll talk directly to you. Don't go anywhere. Canelo Alvarez, a year and a half ago, he never called out Bud. Canelo Alvarez never called out Bud. Somehow we want to think, he fights smaller guys. Listen, Canelo was never calling out Bud. Hell, it wasn't even Bud that got Canelo in the ring. It was 150 million of them things that got Canelo in the ring with Terrence Bud Crawford because he knew it was a lose-lose. He beats him, small guy. He loses, you were never that great to begin with. This is what we've been saying forever. But the people been talking. The people have been talking. And I was surprised in that interview with my man Andre Ward and Roy Jones Jr. when Andre Ward is the one that said, listen, now we have to give him credit if he beats Crawford because we've been saying, and a lot of us have been saying, Crawford beats Canelo, Crawford beats Canelo. I have not seen Canelo this motivated in a long time. I have not seen him this motivated in a long time. You see it again. You see that fire again. He wants to prove a point. You're bringing this little man into the ring against this big man. I'm going to show you he's not on my level. I'm about to show you right now that there's, what am I talking about? There's levels to this game. Not saying Crawford is not on that level. I'm not saying he cannot perform at that level. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not what I'm saying at all. I'm simply saying he's going to have to prove it. Can he? He absolutely can. He absolutely can. But how much did Crawford actually want this fight? And how much did Turkish Al-Sheikh's influence on Crawford have to do with making this fight? Crawford wasn't calling out Canelo a long time ago. Y'all think I'm playing? Look after the Madrimov fight when he was asked. They asked him, why do you want the Canelo fight and why is it so important to you? Crawford's response was, it's not really that it's important. That's when I knew that it wasn't Bud chasing Canelo. It was Turkey chasing to make that fight happen. Okay? This fight just kind of came together. It just kind of came together. Now let me get to my man Steven. Let me see. Canelo's best fight he beat was Triple G and he waited until he lost a step. Mind you, Steven, at that time, I want to ask you something, brother, and I want you to keep it 100. Were you the type of guy that was saying Canelo would never step up to 160 and face Triple G? Just keep it 100. Be honest. Were you that guy that was saying Canelo will never fight Gennady Golovkin? God bless him, man. E. Perry, God bless him, man. You know, yeah, I kind of want to say something before I go out of this live, but that's not that time yet. But yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, Steven, were you that guy that used to say Canelo would never fight Triple G? Damn, flies got up in my crib. Jigglypuff, you're my man, dude, but respectively, man, that dude just lost his life. I'd highly respect if you did not bring that kind of stuff into here, bro. It's one thing to print support for somebody, but when a man just like his life, I'm not down with that, bro. I don't care who it is that lost their life. My worst enemy, it's not something I'm gonna celebrate, bro. So, respectively, man, don't bring that stuff into here. All right, guys, I don't want to go off topic with this, man. I'll say one thing before I go, but let's stick to boxing, man. Okay, and what you guys are saying right now is exactly what I want to address. Let's wait to the end. Let's keep it boxing, y'all. Let's keep it boxing. Steven, did you go somewhere or are you still here, brother? I think Steven took off. Thank you, Aztec. Say it louder, my brother. Oh, okay, cool. No. That's not what I'm asking, Steven. I'm asking, before Canelo fought Triple G the first time, in your personal opinion, were you the type of guy that was saying that Canelo would never fight him? It's all I'm asking. There was a large group of people that swore up and down Canelo would never fight him. And let me tell you something, bro. He was at 55. No, he did not have to jump to 160 because at the end of the day, Canelo is the cash cow. He could have stayed at 154 and kept fighting everybody and making money. So that was a personal choice from Canelo to step up and fight Triple G, bro. Triple G called him out for 2 years. Oh, yeah, but it's not like Triple G lost a step in that. And let me tell you something, man. Triple G, in my personal opinion, beat Canelo on their first fight. In my personal opinion, Triple G squeezed out a win on the first fight, but that's not what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Respect, I'll keep it 100. The fact is that Canelo Alvarez at that young age jumped up and fought Triple G, something that many people were not doing at that time. And let me tell you something. At that time, Canelo could have taken the Tank Davis route where he could have just kept fighting nobodies. He could have kept fighting nobody. Instead, he stepped up to the plate and he fought Triple G. He did not take the Tank Davis route where Tank Davis is a 30-year-old prospect. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I'm bringing this here is because we got to keep it consistent. He stepped up, he fought Triple G, and twice he fought him. He got busted for whatever was in the system, whatever. The thing is that he stepped into the ring with, at the time, the killer in the sport. I wouldn't say that Canelo got dominated the first fight. I had it 7-5. What up, Drew? Yeah, listen, great fighters lose sometimes. It's not a big deal to me. It's not a big deal to me. The fact that you dare to be great, in my personal opinion, is what's missing in boxing. If we're going to take away from Canelo and say that Bivol exposed him, I'm going to say this. Canelo, when he fought Bivol, was already the face of boxing. He did not need Dimitri Bivol. He challenged himself and came up short, whatever, but he dared to be great. Who else in boxing right now is doing that? With the pool that Canelo has. You know what I'm saying? With the pool that he has. We know that right now Canelo could fight one of us and make 20 million. Any of us and make 20 million. He'll pack Las Vegas. He'll do the damn thing. That man that didn't need to literally jumped up and fought Dimitri Bivol. Win, lose, or draw, he dared to be great. And I don't know why we can't respect that. Why do we take from that? You know, I love Bud Crawford. I love Bud Crawford, man. But if we're going to talk about that, man, then they could have made the salute, brother, salute. They could have made the Spence fight a long time ago. Terrence Bud Crawford, once upon a time, could have fought in Keith one-time Thurman. he could have fought a lot of these dudes. I'm not saying these guys would have beat Terrence Crawford, but he could have fought in them. Bro, so he could have fought at 157. He fought Cotto at 57, if I'm not mistaken. All I'm saying, Steven, man, is when we look at Canelo Alvarez's resume, if we're going to take shots to him, there is no active fighter right now that has the resume even close to a Canelo. So if we're going to say stuff about Canelo's resume, what does that say about every other fighter in the game today? Minus, like the Alexander Usyks. There's fighters out there that fight everybody. Hell, it hurts me to say, but even Devin Haney, that actually, got names on their resume that stepped up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? But come on now. Let me see. He said, man, shut up. Bud putting belt to Canelo. Great, but greater body. Well, we'll have to see, Walter, man. We will have to see, bro. We're going to have to see, man. On paper, Crawford fought everyone in his division. I don't know what that guy's saying with the... I'm not taking away from Terrence Crawford, bro. I'm not taking away from Terrence Crawford, but let's not forget, man, the Spence fight could have also been made a lot sooner, right? It was even Terrence Crawford that said, why would I sign... What did he say to Barbarian that time? After the first time he was with Aaron, whatever, when he re-signed to Top Rank and he wasn't getting the fights and he wasn't being that active, right? That's on Terrence Bud Crawford. Okay, that's on him. There's no way about it. Yeah, I do not take away from Bud. I'm not even doing that. The reason, and listen, Steven, you could go a year or two back in my videos, and I was the one always trying to make the case for Bud Crawford. Okay, my thing is that there's other guys like a Tank Davis who I'd criticize their resume and other guys. Therefore, I got to keep it 100, bro. I got to keep it 100. I'm not so sure the PBC was blocking the fight with Spence, man, because on the Top Rank side, it's not like they were pushing it for it either. So I don't know, man. Alexander Shaz, what are you saying, bro? What do you mean by fake USA? Hey, everybody in the chat, I think Alexander, whatever his name is, needs some attention. Could you guys all tell him hi, please, if you don't mind? Stephen Crosby, why is it? Ooh, man, I love this topic, Stephen. It's like you know me, bro. Why Canelo hasn't fought Benavidez? I'm going to be 100 with this one, brother. I'm going to be 100 with this one. I will step out and say it may be a little petty, the reason why Canelo didn't fight David Benavidez. Okay, Canelo didn't like their mouth, and he said, you're not making the millions on my fight. Keep talking, keep your daddy's mouth shut, keep doing what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. Keep fighting everyone. You're not going to make the money you would have made fighting me. Okay, David talking like he's the champion. David talking like he's giving ultimatums. We offered him this much in this to fight, and he said no. And what did Canelo say? Who's he? Who's he to offer that? This is my thing with that, bro. Canelo, we could call it petty, we could call it what we want. But David talked his way out of that fight by taking shots at Canelo Alvarez. Listen, bro, I said it like this one time. I said it like this. If you're this person and you're trying to strike a shoe deal with Nike, you're not going to say, let me see, what's a brand? Just a Walmart brand. The shoes that's not expensive. If you're trying to collaborate with Nike, you're not going to say, Nike doesn't want to collab with us because they're afraid we're going to take all their people. You know what Nike's going to say? Check, we're not working with y'all. And that's what it was. And that's all it was. And this is why I say that. Canelo stepped up and fought. You look at his resume and it's like, okay, so he jumped up and fought Dimitri Bivol, but he was scared of David Benavidez? It doesn't add up. Well, yeah, now he's making the money for sure, and let's be real, bro. One thing that we got to talk about, David's name blew up because it was being mentioned with Canelo. Okay? Okay, the shirts, 2 years later, he's still making those shirts. The flying Canelo ducks, look, he's still making those. Why is that? He already fought, what was his name? David Morrell. Now he's gonna fight Anthony Yarde. But somehow, still in his stories, Canelo's still there. Why? Because he knows that even though he didn't fight Canelo, his name just being tied to Canelo got him where he's at today. I like David Benavidez. I'm not going to take from that, but the way that he moves, I wish him the best in his career. Nah, bro. I've heard that, Steven, but it doesn't work that way, bro. Because think of it like this, man. De La Hoya lost fights, and we just saw Mike Tyson fight Jake Paul, and it's not like Mike Tyson's fan jumped ship and went to Evander Holyfield or went anywhere else. He was solidified. It was going to happen. Those fans are going to be diehard. Canelo lost to Triple G, didn't lose no fans. Canelo lost to Bivol, didn't lose no fans. People like boxing events. Absolutely, Bivol is more of a threat than David. Absolutely. Oh, yo, you could get asked questions. I understand that, man. But how you answer those questions, man? Could you imagine if Canelo, back in the day of the Floyd Mayweather fight, he would have said, "Oh, I'm gonna beat him. He's this, he's that. He's a beep, beep, beep," and all these things. Floyd would have been like, "Okay, you know what? You're not getting the fight. It's not gonna happen. We're not gonna do it." Damn, the time went quick. Anyways, thank you for bringing that up, Steven, man. I like a good conversation, bro. Anyways, man, I just want to say something really quick, man, okay? And this is just from me to you guys, okay? Let's just pretend that right now we're having dinner, we're having a burger, we're having a cold soda, whatever, we're conversating, man, and I just want to get this out there really quick. I don't want to backlash, fellas. I'm just talking from me to you guys, and, you could take it however, man. I don't got to agree with everybody's view in the world. All of you guys in here, many of you guys have been in here so many times. I remember the names. A lot of you guys are really, really mad cool. The ones that are consistent, and I kind of get to know in a discussion way, but I could tell you guys are cool people. If I were to meet you guys and somehow you guys had different views, different perspectives than me, if all of our beliefs were not the same, I would not close you out. I would not cancel you. I would not speak bad about you. I would not hate you. I would not turn away from treating you as a cool individual and being respectful to you and showing love to you guys. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter nothing. That's not how it is. And the reason I'm saying this, guys, is because it's becoming too normal in the world today to demonize somebody that doesn't agree with you. Two people, not everybody is created by the exact same way, so we're not always going to agree on everything. However, we could disagree and still be friends. We could disagree and still get a bite to eat together. We could disagree and still bring our kids together so that they could play and enjoy and build relationships. We do not got to demonize people that do not agree with us. And I would never demonize y'all for not agreeing that everything that I agree with, whether it be any aspect of my life. I want y'all to know that. When we talk boxing, I know it gets a little hot and we start debating. We're men. That's what we're going to do. However, it's all love. It's never out of hate. And I'm just saying, man, if I could say one positive thing to you guys, two actually. Let's stop demonizing each other for not agreeing with each other, one. And number two, God bless you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing night. You already know tomorrow I go in super early, man, but I had a great time. Look out for the official prediction video to the fight this upcoming Saturday. We'll see if I go live for the fight. It all depends, man. Y'all know I got kids. It's hard to make that happen sometimes, but nonetheless, man, if I don't speak to y'all before the fight live, enjoy the fight. God bless y'all, and I'll speak to y'all soon. Peace, y'all.